Welcome to the Tom Barnard Family Podcast with
Co-host Catherine Brandt.
Alex Barnard Rasmussen.
Andy Brandt Bernard.
And Kristen Burt.
and Kristen Burt. So just take about a couple of minutes here to kick things off, and I want to open up with a little. Well, it's humor to me because it's so ridiculous. This AI has got to stop. We got to get rid of AI. It's just getting worse by the day. What do you think?
I'm begging.
It's disgusting.
It's going to be really amazing in some ways, like the medical.
Yeah.
Uses for
It's
sure.
going to be like really amazing, but like in every element of everything, not great.
So we'll start off with a good laugh. I was on my way back from my, I go see the doctor down here on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I was on my way back listening to the radio. And apparently it's not live radio somehow. I don't know how that's possible. But they said a lot of people are very upset to hear that just a few months ago, one of the greats of all time has retired. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, he's still alive. That's not what we're saying, but we're not going to hear a lot from Johnny Matisse anymore.
Johnny Mathis,
Johnny Matisse.
who died years ago.
No, Johnny Mathis is still alive.
He is?
He is.
Andy,
Chances are.
He's 90. He's still
he's
alive.
90, yeah.
He's still alive? Holy
Yep.
moly.
There is.
I never would have put.
Me either.
Yeah, we saw him like 7 years ago. He didn't look like he was
Huh.
great then.
Oh, no.
No.
But I got a question for you. Who the hell doesn't know who Johnny Mathis is, for Christ's sake?
People
it was
under
a-
30.
Or
Johnny Matisse.
AI, or an AI
Yeah.
voiceover.
It
AI
is an
voiceover.
AI voiceover.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right about that. So I got a good laugh. Johnny Matisse. Yeah, that's his name.
Matisse, the famous painter?
Yeah, it's a different story.
You know what's really interesting, and I just want to say this. I was obviously Johnny Mathis wasn't my era, but he made an appearance, and I want to say it was Who's the Boss back in the day. It could be the wrong sitcom, but oftentimes shows used to bring older celebrities onto, and he
Yeah.
probably was like 55, 60 or something when it happened. But so it's like old in quotes, but or like Love Boat, like so you would get to know who some of the older
yeah.
stars were, Fantasy Island, like all of those, and kids don't necessarily have that kind of framework anymore, where you're
Right.
like, oh, we just need to keep them on their SAG insurance. Let's have them do a one-off on this sitcom or this show.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And so that's interesting.
It is pretty. Why you?
Did we introduce Kristen?
Well, honey, I just said I'm going to take 5 minutes here. I got it. I've hosted shows before. I don't know if you know that.
Well, I just thought
Actually,
there's
I've looked
so
shows.
much to talk about.
There's
And
a
the
lot
chat
to talk
has
about.
already been talking about Phil.
We're going
Yes.
to talk about Philip now. I just wanted to start off by a little lightheartedness, going Johnny Matisse, and then segue into the loss of one of my two best friends I've ever had. Two of my best friends that I've ever had. Andy Fisher, of course, my dearest friend, had died many years ago, very, very young. And now, what do we got now, Catherine?
Philip Wise. Philly
Philip
dog.
was the Philly dog. Philip Wise has died, ladies and gentlemen. He died several days ago, as a matter of fact. And I kept checking on it, and I couldn't find any proof that it was indeed him and that he was indeed dead. But it is indeed true that Philip Wise, one of the greatest people I've ever met. I adored him. He was just a wonderful human being. Played for the New York Jets and then came to the Minnesota Vikings. Played there, I think, about 7 years, didn't he? I think.
I'm not positive about his career. I knew he was an NFL player. That's all I knew.
Yeah, for almost 10 years, or maybe it was 10 years. But the thing about that is that Philip Wise was one of the best people I've ever met. He was funny, very handsome young man.
He was very funny.
He was a very, very funny guy. And the great thing about Philip, Philip was a black man in America today, and he never brought it up. It's like, well, we're friends. I'm not going to talk about that bullshit skin color stuff. We're friends. I love you, Tom, and you love me. That's all you know. And he was right, because I am deeply hurt by the fact. I knew he wasn't doing all that well. You know, his health wasn't that good. But Philip, we adored you, and we'll miss you for the rest of our lives in any case. But I wish there were a lot more people like Philip Wise. And I'll close with this. 55 years ago, Philip and I would walk down Hennepin Avenue in Minneapolis 55 years ago, and he'd always put his arm around me because he's black, right? He put his arm around me to prove that black and white people could get along.
He was the ambassador for everybody.
He was always like, Dad used to bring Andy and me like once a year on the KQ morning show when we were like pretty little kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Philip was always the one person that was just like so nice. Like everybody was nice, like fine, but it was just like, oh, here's this little kid. Hi, how are you? How's school? Stuff kind of thing. But Philip was always just like talking to us like we were adults, and like we'd come on the show and he would include us. Like he was always just so wonderful.
I remember you were always mad at him because you'd go out running with him and he was so athletic he would run backwards when you were running.
That's exactly true. Well, I'll give you an example. We were walking. Do you remember Theodore Worth Park when you lived in town?
Do I remember what?
Theodore Worth Park over in North Minneapolis.
Yes.
Okay, remember how hilly though that trail was? It was very, very hilly and up and down all the rest of it. He's running up the thing backwards, and he still had to wait for me running forward.
Was he smoking 3 cigarettes while he did it?
Well, he didn't smoke cigarettes. That is true.
A couple cocktails, had a snack.
A couple of cocktails for Philly.
Yeah.
But Philly, unfortunately, it was one of those situations. I'll toss it in. I hate the fact that Philly is no longer with us. I love the man. But as I was writing out a little thing for the family and all the rest of it, I began crying. It was very difficult. And I'm on the verge of it right now, so I'll shut up. So there you
Listen,
go.
Tom, I have cried plenty on your show, so you are welcome to cry.
Yeah, thank you
Well,
so
it was also just strange because somebody had mentioned that Philip died, and we were like, "What? We would have heard about this, wouldn't we have?"
Yeah, we thought it was like a joke or something.
We thought, at first you thought it was a bad joke, and then I looked at his Wikipedia page, and that's so outdated. It said he was still on the KQ morning show.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm like, okay, so I don't know. And then somebody sent me a link to his daughters.
Yeah, his two daughters.
His Facebook page, which was taken over, I think, by his daughter or something, and she had confirmed that he had died 6 days prior.
12, 13 days ago, but they wanted privacy, so they didn't announce it for like a week.
Right,
okay. All right.
Oh, he died 13 days ago?
It was a decent amount of time. It was like, mid early March.
Oh, because I thought he died like 5 days ago, 6 days ago, maybe.
That's becoming a more common practice, too, to kind of just take a beat. I think sometimes families just need time to grieve.
So it's a lot. It's a lot, when you have people, I mean, even with Tom, you talking about your Alzheimer's diagnosis, the outpouring has been unbelievably supportive, but, for every 99 great looking gals at the strip club, there's one ugly one, as they say.
That's
true on the Facebook post.
Well, that's a different way of approaching it. Different approach to the whole deal. But yeah, I wanted to get through that at first because seriously, he and I were friends for over 55 years. And it's really, really difficult to lose somebody like that. Philip Wise was the sweetest man. Tough. Holy Christ, was he tough. Unbelievable. Yeah. He's so very muscular and athletic and all the rest of it. But Philip, we loved you dearly. I miss you, and I'll never get over it.
Yeah, it's also interesting. You've been talking more and more about him.
Yes.
And I'm like, why don't you call him? Why don't you call him? You're like, I should.
I did call him a couple times, and he never answered.
Oh, now you know why.
And now I know why, no question about it. Well, Philly dog, Philip Wise, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest people, if not the greatest person I've ever met. He was all about you. Nothing was about him. Everything was about, are you okay? You happy? Where do you want to go for dinner? What do you want? It was always about you, never about him. He's just one of those people,
Yeah.
So I'm going to shut up now because I'm tearing up again. So let's move on to other things. Philip Wise, I will always love you, pal.
I will say his legacy will be carried on through my children because I remember he used to always go, "Come on, man," like all the time.
He did.
say that in
He
like
did.
certain situations, especially to my children. Like when my children are doing something that's ridiculous, I'll just be like, "Come on, man!"
I say that too.
Because of Philip Wise.
Yeah, because of him,
God.
and I think about him every time I say it. And my kids now, things will happen, and they'll go, "Come on, man!"
So it's carrying on for 3 generations. That's great. There you go. Mom and dad, the kids, and the grandkids, they're all going, come on, man.
It's like it's a great response. It's better than swearing because when
Yeah.
I have those little kids around,
Yeah.
you can't be like, "What the hell is happening?"
One of
It's a great response.
It
the
is.
one of the great moments, and then I promise we'll move on to Kristen Burt's entertainment news because we need to be entertained right now. But I will never ever forget Philip. And there was some guy that was pissed off at me out in Vegas. I don't even know who the hell knows why. But by the way, let me mention this. All of you people, and I stopped counting at I think it was almost 400,000 people commented on the show and Philip Wise and this and that and the other. How many people did you see, Andy, that talked about the show and all that stuff over the
Oh
weekend?
yeah, it was all over the place.
I mean, it was
All
like
sorts of,
hundreds of
radio
thousands.
stations were reposting it on their
Yeah.
sites. And
Yeah, they were. Yep. Absolutely. But so thank you to everyone else and all the rest of it. And I just, Philly, the Philly dog. That's all I know. But women were rather attracted to Philip because he was one handsome bitch. I'll tell you that.
He was.
He was indeed. So Kristen Burt Entertainment News. Love you, Philly. And I hope to see you in heaven someday, Pally. Kristen Burt Entertainment News brought to you by, no, not anytime soon because I'm, 2 years younger than you. So I want to hold out for a while,
Right.
Philly. But what the hell? Kristen Burt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. I will close with this. My hope is, if there really is a heaven, that Philip Wise and Andy Fisher are hanging out together right now because they're 2 of my favorite people I've ever known.
I don't know about Andy.
You didn't like Andy Fisher, one of the
Just
great
kidding.
people ever born.
No, he was
well,
a good
Joe
guy.
thinks Philly's up there sparring with Chuck Norris. So
Yeah, that's right. He's up
Norris.
I could see Phil being like, "I could take you."
yeah,
exactly.
They're reenacting Walker, Texas Ranger.
Okay, now you just made me. I got to close with one more line, and I can't even remember. It was downtown Minneapolis, but I can't remember where we were. But somebody started, because I was on the KQ Morning Show for all those years and all the rest of it, and somebody started chirping at me at a bar downtown. This is many, many years ago. And Philly, I came over and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I don't know. This guy's, chirping at me, and it's not. Don't even worry about it." And he goes, "Well, I'm not going to worry about it." He walked over to the guy and goes, "Would you like to keep breathing?"
No.
And the guy looked at him like, "What?" He goes, "Get the hell away from my friend." It was unbelievable. The guy was terrified. It was great.
I would have run.
But we'll also close with this one. Philip and I were proof. This whole black-white thing and can't get along and blah, blah, blah. 55 years ago, we became dear friends and always have been dear friends for 55 years. So please back up on this. Oh, you're racist, or your white people suck, or black people suck. Shut up. I am so sick of that I can't even take
Were
it.
you Ebony and Ivory living in
Ebony.
perfect harmony?
Yeah, there you go.
apparently.
We should try to get along. What do you think? Trying to get along would be great, don't you think?
Actually, Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson did not get along at the end of.
Yeah, that's
Really?
right.
Yes,
They didn't.
because Michael had bought the Beatles catalog and then sold it.
That's right.
All right.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
then-
right.
Beatles catalog was out there on every commercial.
That's
Yeah, oh God,
right.
yes. Yep.
Not friends.
That was kind of a,
Not wonderful.
yeah.
Here we go. Dave Smash 13 says, that was before you knew me, Tommy.
I wonder what,
55 years,
Paul,
yeah.
Paul McCartney has all the money in the world. Why wouldn't he just have bought the
I
catalog?
know.
They could have bought it back, right?
Yeah.
Technically.
I just don't know why he would let that go.
Yeah, I don't know about the Beatles catalog, like how Michael came to buy it, but then when Michael sold it, wouldn't you think he would have offered it? 'Cause at
Yeah.
the time,
Yeah.
Michael was in debt and needed the money. So wouldn't you
Yep.
think, hey friend, do you want
Yeah.
your Beatles catalog back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and even maybe bought it with Ringo Starr. I'm trying to think. George Harrison might have been alive at the time too.
Right.
Obviously, John Lennon was gone by that point, but I don't know.
Right.
It's a strange thing.
That is
Yeah.
strange.
Let's see. He bought the ATV music publishing catalog, which included the Beatles. He bought it for $47 million in 1985.
Sure.
And then 10 years later, he sold it for $95 million to Sony. So he made a pretty decent amount of money on that
Yeah.
deal.
He
Not a
did.
bad
Wow,
turnover.
I wonder what that's worth.
Oh, wait. No, he sold 50% of it to Sony. In 2016, Sony bought the rest of it from his estate for $750 million.
Holy
Yeah.
moly.
So,
Michael-
yeah, his estate made a decent amount of money off that deal.
Yikes.
Michael Jackson is worth more dead than alive.
Well, $750 million, yeah. I would
Yeah.
imagine
Well,
so.
his estate it's interesting too, because there's actually a legal case going on right now. Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter, is suing the estate for misuse of funds, because she's saying that there's two lawyers who run Michael Jackson's estate, one being John Branca.
Yep.
And she's just saying that they're giving out a lot of bonuses, a lot of gifts. And she's saying, I want to have a say in
Yeah.
how much they are spending in terms of giving out
Yeah.
gifts and bonuses and things like that. But they're saying in turn, like, hey, we bought you a house through this fund. You have asked for money. We've never said no. So it'll be interesting to see how this actually plays out, because she's the only one of her siblings suing.
Oh.
So two lawyers are running your estate,
Her
but
father's estate.
your
Yeah.
father's estate. Yeah,
Right.
I suppose that could get kind of sticky in a lot of different ways.
It's very sticky. And they also made that estate very profitable, these two lawyers. They're the ones who obviously helped develop the Broadway show that's out there and the Vegas show that was done for a while. And so, I mean, obviously the kids have profited very handsomely off of this. They're all in homes in Los Angeles, which of course they're not buying a $500,000 home from them. They're buying, a $4 or $5 million home with security. So
Sure.
Yep. One thing I need to mention about, by the way, that was Sean, my nephew, calling in, wondering how the family is. I have gotten so many calls from people, and thank you, Sean. And all of you have been so sweet and wonderful about this. Thank you so much. But, God, no, I lost my train of thought there, because it's it's a very emotional thing that the people call and see how you're doing. I love that. It's very kind of them to do that, don't you think?
So many phone calls.
Oh God,
We went out to dinners.
Emails
We
I'll
went
be
out to
reading
dinner.
emails and texts in the second half of the show, because I got plenty to go through.
Well, yeah, between
Oh.
Silly Dog dying and you announcing you have Alzheimer's, it's like, it's a big week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because I just returned from my Monday appointment at the Institute over there, and I'm trying to talk them into opening one in Minnesota. I really hope they will eventually. But I've already showed signs of an uptick, that my brain is healthier than it was 2 months ago. So that's good news,
Yes,
don't
absolutely.
you think? Keep ticking forward. That's a wonderful deal. But yeah, so I got a lot. And by the way, Kristen, thank you for your patience, because I'm going all over the. Oh, can you hear me?
Kristen's
think
trying
she
to
can hear
fix
us.
something.
Can't
Oh,
hear
she
us.
can't hear us. Yeah.
Kristen's trying to repair.
I've never liked Kristen.
Okay,
I'd
so-
like to
I
I
point
know
it
what she's
out.
going to talk about. Is it Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, Justin Timberlake got
Yeah, Justin Timberlake got
another
pulled over.
DUI.
Yeah, he got a
It's
DUI.
second DUI.
Oh God.
Dan told me about it. I haven't seen the video. Or
Well, the
anything.
DUI happened in 2024, but
Oh,
the
it's-
footage just got
it's
released.
the same DUI.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So there's footage from the DUI from 2024
should we
that's not
disconnect
out.
Kristen and bring her back?
I don't think that'll help. I mean, I can't really.
You okay?
can you hear me?
Yep.
There
We
we
hear
are.
you.
Yep.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Apparently
Well, she
not.
can't hear us.
Maybe you got to restart your computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Why
think
don't
that's
you stop doing drugs before you come on, sister? What do you think of that action?
That's it. It's
But yeah,
drugs.
the footage doesn't make him look good. I can tell
What
you
does
that much.
what does he do? Like, is he angry?
And
Is
he's
he-
not like belligerent or anything. He's just like trying to explain. He's like, "Oh, I'm on tour." Like, it's kind of like a "Don't you know who I am" kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then they were doing the sobriety tests, and he was like, "These tests are really hard." It's like, well, yeah, I wonder why.
when you're drunk.
These
his,
tests are really
What was his
hard.
BAC? I wonder. Did they ever release
Oh,
that?
okay. I thought it was another DUI.
I did
and
too,
was like,
but no.
geez, Justin, get it together.
Never got one in my
His
entire
legal
life.
team stated he has consumed only one martini over 2 hours.
There's
Uh-huh.
no
You
way
must be
that
quite
you
the
would be-
lightweight
I was gonna
then.
say, unless you, it's the first drink he's had in his life.
Yeah, literally the only martini he's ever had in his entire life.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what the hell? What are you going to do, right?
No, not drink and drive, I suppose.
That is a
Good
good
boy.
You know,
idea.
when you've got, like, once again, all the money in the world, you can definitely at least afford an Uber. And most likely can afford a driver. Why
Yeah.
would you? Yeah. I mean, we know some people they live in Canada. And even if they go out and have one drink, they just take a driver because they don't want to get into any trouble. They
Right.
Well,
don't
in
want to get pulled
Canada,
over.
it's why you get your license revoked for a
There's
while.
a lot of
don't
places
you?
that it's
Like,
very
right
harsh.
away. Yeah, Canada's really harsh, which I think
Good.
is great.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
just before I forget, not everybody, but a lot of people have been asking what the name of the clinic is that Tom is going to, and it's called
Yes.
the Alzheimer's Treatment Centers of America on Donald Ross Road in Palm Beach Gardens.
And they're going to open a bunch of them across the country in the next few years.
Yes.
Like 100 of them they're going to open because I already showed an uptick. I've been going there for 2 months and I've already improved. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to get rid of it totally. I doubt it. But as long as it improves tick by tick, that's pretty damn great, I think. No question.
Yeah, there's a lot of information coming at me, like, oh, this is what we did, and this is what I did, this is
Right.
the book I read, and this is the thing you should take, and all this stuff. And it's interesting that you can, once you're whatever on how old do you ever have to be on Medicare. I don't think
62, I think.
I don't think private insurance pays for it, but you could always check. Apparently, there's changes in your brain as much as 10 to 15 years before anybody even has any
Yeah.
suspicion that anything's going on.
Yeah, there's a
Nobody's
lag
noticing
period
anything.
between the amyloids showing up. There's like 10 years. The amyloids
Yeah.
will show up, and then
Yeah.
you start
And-
getting symptoms.
And apparently, going through a cognition exam every year is a really good way of catching this in the super
Yeah,
early
yep.
stages when people probably aren't even noticing, because there's just subtle changes in the brain. And now
Like,
that they're
there's 3 stages of Alzheimer's pre-dementia.
yes,
You're right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if this is accurate or not, but I have heard this from a couple of different people. Well, actually, several different people. That you know who's way ahead of the Alzheimer's game? Cuba.
Cuba.
really,
Why? I mean, Cuba? Do you think that's true?
I have no idea.
I mean, it's kind of odd, but
But what they're getting very good at, and what AI is getting really good at, is brain mapping.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
So if you are having subtle changes, they've proven that there are tons of things that you can do to prevent it from occurring earlier. I think if you're prone to it, you're going to probably get it, but everybody would rather get it later in life than younger. And a lot of it is diet related.
Yeah.
Eating the Mediterranean diet, staying away from one memory killer is Benadryl.
Right.
Benadryl.
Well, anything with diphenhydramine in it.
Diphenhydramine. That's
Yeah.
it. That is Benadryl.
Well, yeah,
That's
but I mean,
Benadryl.
there are multiple. There's sleep medications with that in it. There's
Yep.
Advil PM, I think, has
Yes.
it in it. Like
Any of those like cold and flu night medicines, they almost all have diphenhydramine in it.
yeah, extended use of it is like it can cut your risk of Alzheimer's. Like not cut it, but double it. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, and then there's a book that I just got, and I just gave it to you, and you took it in the other room, and I haven't seen it since. I think it's The End of Alzheimer's. It was called.
I can go get it if you
It
want.
talks about how your inflammation response to so many foods is so high because
Yeah.
our food is sprayed with all this stuff, and it's it's GMO, and our bodies don't recognize it, and it does all kinds of things to your DNA. And sitting, we talked about this briefly the other day, sitting and not exercising and all that. It's just, there's a lot you can do to prevent it. And, you think about Minnesota, most people don't want to go out and take a walk when it's 20 below zero.
Right.
No.
A 10-minute walk, but you could buy a rebounder and you
Yep.
could jump around on that.
Yep.
That's not an expensive thing. You don't have to have a treadmill. Treadmills are expensive. They take up a ton of space. There's things you can do. Sunlight, vitamin D is really crucial. There's a ton of information out there, and Tom's taking a bunch of supplements, and many of them are
God.
what people have already told him to, said, is he taking this? And then, yep,
Yeah,
he's already on that. That's what they put him on at this Alzheimer's treatment center. So, yeah, it's a really good idea maybe after 55 to go in and have, especially if your insurance company pays for it, why not?
I do have to mention the people that have reached out to me over the last few days a lot of people have well, as a matter of fact, Joe Souchere called me yesterday. I'm out walking and Joe Souchere calls. And it took about 5 times for us to connect, and I don't know why that. Oh, look who's back. What time do you have to leave now?
I've got a few minutes. Don't worry.
Just a
Finish-
few minutes?
Yeah, I've got plenty of time. Go ahead and finish your.
Yeah, we were just talking about all the people that have reached out to me and talking about this, that, and the other thing, and it's just been unbelievable, the support. But you remember Joe Souchere from Souchere and Royce on 1500 KSTP and now podcasting. But Joe, one thing I love about Joe Souchere, and I do admire that, I mean, he's a brilliant man and a great guy, no question.
He's wound up.
When he first met me, he thought I was the biggest asshole he's ever met and told me so.
Joe's wound up.
Joe gets a little wound up, but no, he and I are really good friends now. And for him to, and his whole conversation, the whole thing is, yeah, don't talk to me about this. This is going to be taken care of. You're going to do what you're supposed to do, and you're going to take care of this. So I don't even want to talk about it. It's like, well, you called me. Well, I want to talk about that part, but I don't want to hear your part. I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you.
You know
well,
what to do?
Thomas Bryce O'Brien, his older brother Pat O'Brien was married to my sister. No longer, Pat's no longer with us, but Tommy Bryce O'Brien is one of my dearest friends. That's why people from way back were healthier, food with no additives. They were moving around all day. You got this, Tommy. Love you, mister. I love you too, Tommy Bryce. You're one of your whole family is fantastic. The O'Briens are just wonderful people. So, moving along.
We were talking about Justin Timberlake's DUI.
Yeah, we brushed on it.
Kind of.
Yes.
Yep.
Did everyone see the video? I guess that's the
I didn't.
question.
I did not. No.
Yeah, he first of all, Justin Timberlake fought to have this released, so he did not want it released.
Right.
And they were able. Yeah, he did file a petition because the local, it was Sag Harbor where he was arrested. The Sag Harbor local paper was the one who filed the Freedom of Information Act, and we're like, hey, we want to see what this video looks like because it's the police body cam footage.
Yeah.
And they came up with some sort of compromise and edited some elements of it, so it's not like how it all played out in its entirety, but there's definitely highlights. It doesn't make Justin Timberlake look good. And he's trying to explain like, hi, I'm Justin Timberlake. I'm on a world tour. Like, you should let me go. There's kind of like some indications of like, hey, and he said he only had 1 martini. It is clear that he is intoxicated. He is not well.
Really?
One
Can't
martini.
handle. Yeah, too many. It must have been a
Martini.
vat of martini, I think.
Oh, wow.
And I think if you take a look at it, it's one of those situations where you go, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, he couldn't follow instructions, wasn't passing the field sobriety test. But there's one moment where he's in a cell and he's like, wait, I'm staying here tonight? What do you mean? Like, didn't understand. They're like, well, we might be able to move you to a cell that maybe have some bedding or some pillows. But he's like, I'm just sleeping here.
Oh my God.
He's very polite. I'm going to give him that. He was not rude or anything
That's
else, but
good.
he was trying to get them to figure out like, hey, do you know who I am? His friend who had been following behind him in a car was also like, hey, he can perform a little bye if you kind of let him go. And
Yeah, there you go.
trying to indicate some of the in-sync connection, but the cops were like, I don't really know who this guy is.
He should carry some bags of cash. Maybe that would have helped.
Maybe that would have helped. Or perhaps he could have gotten an Uber or a Lyft at this
That's what we were
point.
saying. Like, he
Yeah.
has plenty of money to pay for
Yeah.
an Uber.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, no question. I mean, that whole deal, when my first big deal with KQRS way back in the day, Dave Hamilton, made sure that if we did an appearance, whatever, somebody was always there to drive me home. I mean, Dave Hamilton was really great about that. He said, no, no, no. If you're going to have a couple of drinks, you are not driving home.
100%. You know, I was thinking about this a few weeks ago. My mom was in town and we went out for a Mexican restaurant, Mexican food. And I ordered a margarita thinking it was going to be like kind of like those normal little like lowball glasses that they normally serve them in. It arrived and it was like a vat.
Fish.
It was fishbowl. It was, and I go, is that a small? And they're like, yeah, that's just our margarita. I was like, oh my gosh. And Bill had been driving that night. He wasn't drinking. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, had that arrived, I would have been taking an Uber home and, not driving in the car. There's no way I could drive home that night.
There you have it.
You're
no
all
question
crunk.
about it. You're crunk.
I don't know if I'm crunk, but I'm definitely a little slurry after a vat of margarita because I only need like a nice little tiny glass of it. That's all I need.
We go to a Mexican restaurant around here, and they fool you. They bring a giant glass, but the glass is also like 2 inches thick.
Yeah.
So it's not that much margarita in there.
There you go.
But
That's what I need.
It looks like you're getting a giant margarita, but you're like, oh, 3 sips and it's gone. Okay,
Yep.
not that much.
I just need the 3-sip margarita. That's me.
Yeah.
All right. You have to go, I suppose.
I do have to work. Yes, I'm heading down
Not
to.
fair.
I know. I'm heading down to San Diego to work, so I'll be in a different location this week.
Love San
On
Diego.
location.
Yeah, I know. Change of location, but it'll be fun.
All right, my dear. Well, thank you very much for coming back on and fighting to get back on. That
Of
was-
course,
that was-
every time I think I've discovered that every time Chrome does an update, it doesn't get along with StreamYard.
Oh,
That's what I've
yeah.
discovered, and it starts creating wacky situations. I'm like, why did I just lose sound? It was nuts.
Yeah.
Did you say wacky?
It was
Wacky.
Wacky.
Wild, weird.
That was great.
There you have it. All right, my dear. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, see you all tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Burt, Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We'll take a quick break, be right back, and continue on right after this. From Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. What's up, Allie?
Oh, not much. Doing my usual thing of telling people they shouldn't be texting and driving. In Minnesota, you can't have your phone in your hands. You can use, hands-free, but you can't have your phone in your hands for whatever reason. And that's why they made the law the way they did, so that police officers could see a phone in your hand and you got no excuse for why you got it there.
Do people know that that's the law?
I hope so. I mean, they used to follow it, and then kind of COVID kind of made people forget, and now it's like a freewheeling world out there with cell phones.
Let's say you get pulled over because you do have a phone in your hand and you're not watching where you're going. You got to be in pretty big trouble then, I would guess.
Well, the first one's not as bad. It's the multiple ones, the problem. And once people start stacking them up, then they have a big problem. And then what we're doing in car accidents is we've started bringing motions for punitive damages because I'm trying to use the civil law any way we can to stop this because it needs to stop.
Whenever I'd had any problems in my life, who was that I called again? It was like an MB, something like that.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
There you go. There you have. Hey, Andy, have you talked to Michael Bryant at all?
Not recently. Alex has, though.
Oh, you have?
Yep.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
So how's he doing?
Fine.
Does he still have strep?
It wasn't. I don't know.
Well, you'd know,
I talked
wouldn't
to
you?
him on the phone for like 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't
But
like
he's
a-
okay and everything, because I called him a couple times, but I haven't heard from him.
Oh,
So I wanted to make sure if long run I could get a hold of him. That'd be nice.
All right. Should we bring? I suppose we should bring up. Okay, so this weekend was tough for Minnesota in a lot of ways. Jessie Pierce, she was
Oh,
a
my
reporter.
God. Oh.
She worked for Hubbard Broadcasting. She was an a hockey reporter mostly. She's
Yep.
done other things as well. She had a really great career with the Hubbards. She died in a fire with her 3 kids.
God.
A house fire.
What?
Yes.
Yep.
I mean,
No.
just terrible.
She was only
Their-
37. She was younger than me.
Yeah.
It's my age.
Yeah.
Yeah, their dog, her 3 kids, and her all died in a fire. And apparently, her husband was out of town, and I just don't under. It's horrible. What a horrible, horrible situation.
Yep. Unbelievable.
Very tragic.
Yeah, look at all the comments we got. Yes, how tragic was that for her and her 3 children? No question. Yeah, that's the problem. Now, my mother and I were in our house at 2955 Russell Avenue North, and I can give you that address because they still have not built a house on that lot. That lot is still standing there empty. But my mother and I were in the house. Everybody else was at school or whatever. And it was one of those old houses where they had a door that separated the
Whoa.
What the hell is that now?
I think
Because
a
Zeppelin
jet's
was right.
taking off right outside our window.
Yeah.
Yes, Jesus. Why do they have to make so much noise
Oh,
around
because they've got to get this stupid building done.
here? They do.
Anyway,
One of these days it'll be really, really good. What were we just talking about? Now I forgot.
Something about your house?
yeah, you were talking about the house.
Oh,
fire.
yeah. So there was
Separated something.
a door that separated all the bedrooms from the main part of the house, the living room, the kitchen, that kind of stuff, dining room. And my mother went in, went to open the door to go in there to get something. She opened the door, and about a 12-foot flame shot right over her
man.
head on the
Yeah.
ceiling. I'm like, holy Christ. I will never forget that as long as I live. So my mother had to keep telling me, "You've got to go outside, Tom. We got to go outside." I said, "I don't want to go outside." She said, "I don't care what you want. You're coming outside, and that's all there is to it." But yeah, that house burned. Oh my God. To be in a house that was on fire like that. So I don't know what she and her children went through, but what Mom and I went through, and we both lived through it, was horrifying. So just to hear that little children had to witness that and ended up dying from it is just horribly.
I wonder what happened. And that's like
Yeah.
something. So at school, we always have like fire safety week,
Sure.
where it's like we talk about like
Yeah.
make sure that your fire alarms are working and make
And
sure
an
you
escape.
have
Yep.
a escape plan and like do fire drills every once in a while. and
We
stuff
got
like
fire blankets, we got fire extinguishers, we got smoke
Yeah.
alarms everywhere.
Good
It's-
move.
that. We have the kids each have a ladder, like one of those
Right.
Yep,
retractable
you guys-
ladder things.
You
in their
guys had
closet.
those in your
Yeah,
closets.
I remember. I remember exactly
Here-
where it was.
Yep, that's what we have, and like we say, come to our room if the fire alarms are ever going off in the middle of the smoke alarms are going off in the middle of the night. Come to our room because then we can jump onto the
Garage.
deck
Oh, yeah.
and then get out, and then one of the kids' room also has like an overhang that they could get off of, and the other one is like 2 stories straight down. So
Yep.
it's like
Right.
that's why you have this ladder if this is the only option of getting out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I wonder what happened. I mean,
Gosh.
obviously houses just
Yeah.
start on fire sometimes because of
Well,
whatever. But
It's pretty amazing what they can do when they are investigating a fire. They can usually pinpoint where it
the cause.
started, when it started, how it started. Our barn fire, they could never figure that out, but
No.
I thought it was the furnace. Or
That's what they
something.
thought, but
they
we don't
thought
Oh, yeah.
that's the only thing that they could come up with.
Here's some memories of people, because, I mean, I talked about this probably 40 years ago.
No, you've
Something
talked
like
about
that.
it many times since.
I hope so, because you don't want to go through that. But I do remember that my mother opened the door and that flame shot straight across the ceiling. I mean, from one wall to the other. The entire ceiling looked like it was on fire. But MB 0711,
Margaret.
Margaret, it's Margaret. She remembers the one thing that survived from that fire, because they tore the house down. It was burned so badly. It was just ravaged. The one thing that did survive, and I don't know who has it now, was my mother's picture of the Last Supper. I will never forget that.
I think Troy had it for a long time.
Troy
I don't
didn't,
know
yeah.
who ended up with it after
I know,
that.
we'd like to find that, because it
Probably
didn't even
Sean.
look. It didn't even look like it was singed at all. It was just all the rest of the house was just burned to shit.
Jesus was watching over you guys.
Jesus was
what?
watching over. Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. The thing, you cannot tell it was ever in a fire. And they didn't clean it up or anything. It just didn't affect it. It was really weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what a thing to go through there. No question about that. But yeah, it's so sad that Jessie's family and her husband was on a
Business trip or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on a business trip somewhere, so
Yeah,
he has
Jessie
to come home to
Pierce.
that.
That's just sad, very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, I know a bunch of people. I did meet her a couple times, but I didn't really know her. But I know several people in the business, whether it's, the people over at KFAN or it's the people over at KSTP or whatever. They love, every person I talked to about her loved her. They just thought she was a wonderful person. That makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, and then a Jude update. I had people asking me about Jude. He's at the vet today. He's having a surgery today at like 1.
So in an hour, not even.
Not even an hour.
I know, and I dropped him off.
Good.
Oh my God! First of all, he didn't get to have breakfast, which was devastating. Very devastating to that dog. I mean,
He's so dramatic.
Yes, he is.
Oh, he
and
is
he's got
dramatic.
those baby seal eyes that just,
Goldfish
very-
eyes.
yeah, they melt my heart. But no, I dropped him off. I was like, I can't even look at you because he's looking back as they're leading me away, like, Mom, Mom, baby seal eyes. I'm like, oh, I can't even look at him.
Well, and he if
Yep.
Mom and I are walking with Jude, and Mom has to quickly go into a store, and I have to hold Jude for 5
Oh,
minutes.
God. Oh,
I
God.
know you would think that he was being.
Yeah.
You would think he was being stabbed.
I'm like, Jude,
Yeah.
The best.
There was a story, I guess, on TikTok about a dog that ran. How long is 24 kilometers? Anybody?
It's like 18 miles, I think.
Okay, this dog ran 24 kilometers and was found on his owner's hood of his car because
Really?
he was so upset about his daddy leaving for work.
No, that wasn't Jude. That was another
No,
dog.
it was another dog.
Different
But
dog, yeah.
Jude, if he were that athletic, he would do that.
Yes, that's
if he
true.
could run 24
If
kilometers.
he could run, yeah, I don't think he could.
I don't
Margaret,
think he
it's
could.
the bladder stones. Pancreatitis is gone, apparently. I don't know.
just
Yeah, that was just a weird fluke thing, and that they gave him some meds, and that resolved itself very quickly. But
Yeah.
but because of the pancreatitis, they found the bladder stones, which we
Yeah.
would never have known because he didn't have any symptoms.
Right.
So I guess it was a blessing in disguise,
Judith.
except for it's a $2,000 blessing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's better than him getting some sort of horrible infection or
Yeah.
horrible pain, and then
No
the
question.
emergency and all that.
I'd like to take a couple of seconds here to thank. The last I checked, and I have not checked since, we had well over 300,000 comments on the show and this and that and the other thing. Losing Philly and all the rest of it. I stopped checking like a couple of days ago, so I don't even know. But Andy, it's got to be around 500,000 now or something.
I haven't been checking social media because I don't really do social media at
Yeah,
home.
right,
I have to
right.
check our
You'd-
various channels.
You'd be very proud of your daughter. Somebody was
Oh, yeah?
dunking on you on what was it, Facebook, Alex?
on Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, somebody said, and we're not going to give him his name out because
No.
he's a jerk. He said, Tom's just doing this for attention or something like that. No,
That I
just-
killed our dog for
No,
attention?
no,
or-
no, about Alzheimer's.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing it for
I knew there was a
attention.
dead dog involved.
Stupid
Alex was like,
bastard.
yeah, he really picked this just to get attention.
I was like, yeah, he altered his brain and chose to get to a point where he doesn't remember who anyone is, all for attention.
Yeah, really.
That's
Yeah.
got to be it.
Yeah,
And I
that
also
was-
said, find something better to do with your time than making comments like this on the internet. Might I suggest charity work?
yes.
Well, and I'll tell you what the problem is. Almost always, that's some little asshole who tried to be tough on social media because he can't be tough in person.
Well, and I also said, I was like, please unfollow us.
Yeah,
like,
really.
you're
Yeah,
not
go
bringing any
away.
joy to your life. If I'm following someone on social media and they all of a sudden start bugging me, that happens sometimes. Like I
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
follow like
Yep.
food influencers that have like recipes, and all of a sudden they are like constantly talking about something else, and I'm just like, I don't need to hear about
No.
all this.
Right.
Then I just unfollow them because
Yep.
I'm
Right.
like, you're
Yeah.
not bringing anything positive to me
Right.
anymore. I was like, life's too short to follow people that you don't like. Why would you just unfollow?
Oh, I can tell you,
Right.
we got an email from Ian Leonard.
Oh, really?
My friend, be strong, be brave, and above all else, be funny. With you from afar, Ian.
Oh, that's very nice.
We got a Joseph Brown. He emailed and said he met you twice when he was 18 and 33. Now he's 50.
Oh my God.
God.
Wow.
32 years, man.
Old.
That is a.
I don't know what will.
Yeah,
What
it's
the
long.
hell?
18 to 50. It's a decent amount of time. But he says, I have a 5 diamond case of type 2. What does that mean?
Type 2 diabetes?
Oh,
Type 2.
I don't know.
5
What is a 5
diamonds.
diamond? Diamond type is. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing that might be a typo.
Oh.
That or someone out there who has diabetes might be able to tell us.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
but the
that's
majority
true.
of people have been so nice and so wonderful, and just commented about how you made their whole lives so much better being on the
Yeah.
KQ morning show, and how they've
And
followed
it's
you
been
all
very
these years,
sweet.
and
Very sweet.
yes, and how most everybody is wishing you the best, but like I said, there's always going to be a couple of people. It's like, one time you said something about Kirby Puckett that I didn't like.
I know,
I
there's some
always
people-
hated your guts. It's like,
There's a few
thank
people
you.
out there who it's like, yeah, I heard Sim say something I didn't agree with 40 years ago, and I'm still
Yeah.
mad about it. It's like,
Yeah,
how
it's
boring
like,
must
wow.
your life be that you're
That's
still
exactly-
seething
I know.
40 years later
I'm
about
like-
something.
What do you? I just can't imagine.
Remembering a slight from 40 years ago.
No, I literally can't imagine it.
How must your life be to? And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm literally like,
I'll be mean.
what must you do all day, every day, if you're still capable of holding on to something that some guy on the radio said 30
Yeah,
years?
I know.
Like, I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday.
I know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's like,
I-
Well, I do have to tell you though that, honest to God, this was pointed out to me just now. I got a message on my watch that there were people in Duluth that posted it. There are people in St. Cloud, in Rochester. I mean, all these different radio stations, TV stations across the Midwest.
WJON.
WJON, and that's in St. Cloud. But people are starting to point out the one place that didn't comment on it at all, KQRS. What a
Really?
shock.
Going to.
Well, it's hard to comment on things and get drunk at the same time.
Well, we don't know who runs the place now.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
could be normal people. Who knows?
I don't think so.
We don't know. But we don't know.
But yeah, I mean, it's just how people can be that goddamn big. 37 years of kicking everybody's ass in the United States, and now it's just who cares? Well, I do. It was a wonderful career.
Well, you clearly had a great career because a lot of people remember it, and it was
They're wonderful
very,
people.
very important to people.
Well, you're important to me too, and you know that. I've always talked about our listeners have been just unbelievable for 40 years. They've just been amazing. And Sue Sheree said, "Okay, we're gonna together," because Sushi's got a big show, and it's a lot about politics and keeping an eye on people to make sure they behave. Then of course you got Score North, those two guys, and thank you for reaching out to me as well. Very, very nice people. So I'm in the right spot, but basically Joe's insisting we got Score North, we got the Sue Sheree show, and now we got to jack up your show more, and so it's all even key. I mean, it was just this, but he was yelling at me the whole time. It was hilarious. Sue Sheree's yelling at me.
people
Listen,
yell when they're emotional.
you're getting through this. Whether you want to get through it or not, you're getting through it. He's yelling at me.
Michelle
It's like,
Tafoya called. She
Michelle
was crying.
Tafoya.
I'm like, I'm not talking to you. I just put makeup on. We're going out to dinner. No crying. I got to hold it together.
oh God, we better take a break here, Mike.
Oh,
That
yes.
shot by quickly. We'll
Then
be
I can
right
read
back in
more
just.
texts we've been getting because I
What,
got
Andy?
plenty of those. We can read more texts I've been getting because I got
Yes,
plenty
you
of
can do
those.
that. That would be great. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes with those and Andy. For Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. Michael, what's up?
Dealing with another case where a person gave a statement to the adjuster because they thought the person was really friendly.
Is that a good idea?
Well, the problem is they know the law when they call you up. And while you're trying to be fair and you're trying to get help, the reality is there are questions you get asked that the way you answer them make a big difference. And people put themselves in trouble. And when they aren't in trouble, they didn't do anything wrong. But suddenly the adjuster's got a statement that can blow up their case completely.
What has caused people to be so untrustworthy, I guess is the best way I could put it? They take advantage.
Well, insurance companies have hired adjusters whose job it is to deal with unrepresented people. So they're supposed to kind of lure them in, call them every day, see how they're doing, and people are like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Where the reality is they've kind of adjusted to their problem that they've got going on. So it's not that they're completely better, but the way they say it gets to be a problem. And that's why having somebody who can explain your rights, represent you, make sure that you understand the law before you give a statement can make a big difference in your case.
Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant. Let's talk about my bank. That'd be North American Banking Company and Bilski. Look, it's easy to feel like just another account number at the big national banks, but that's not how it works with my friends at North American Banking Company. Whether you're visiting their locations in Roseville, 50th and France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, or Maple Grove, you'll always find real people who know you by name and actually care about your finances, not some AI chatbot. They also offer all the modern conveniences you expect, like online and mobile banking, but with a personal touch that only a community bank can offer. So why settle for less when you can bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Visit nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. But again, thank you so much. I stopped counting or checking on the numbers at about 300,000 comments over the weekend about this. So thank you so much for caring in the first place and supporting the family, supporting me. You people are unbelievable. So thank you very much. And I'll probably never get out of the business now. I mean, you're being that nice to me. Why would I want to leave? Right?
You're here forever. Don't forget, you're here forever.
I'm here forever. So what's going on, Andrew? What do you got?
Let's see. What else do we have here? Someone said, I've started listening to Tom from day one on the KQ Morning Show. I've listened to him the whole time. I love him. I met him once at the gym with the Warriors.
Oh, yeah, the Road Warriors. Yep.
Road Warriors, yep.
Oh, God.
Yep, used
That's
to
a
lift
lot.
weights with the Road Warriors, and they kicked my ass at every lift. I'll tell you that. There's no doubt about that.
Did they smell good?
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice, Nana.
I just said, anybody that says they're a warrior, I'm like, they must smell bad. I don't know why. That's just what pops into my
Weird
head.
thing.
Well, see, I mean that's what we're talking about here. I that's how lucky I've been. I worked out with famous professional wrestlers. I worked out with professional athletes like Philip Wise. That's why, and I'm telling you, I am taking it very hard because I adore Philip Wise. He was one of my favorite people ever born.
He was a fellow Zubas wearer.
Oh, he
wasn't
loved the Zubas,
Yeah, I think you both were.
We
He
were.
always had an outfit and Kangol hats. I always think
Yeah, yeah. He always wore those hats.
Yep. So, yeah, thank you, everybody out there. The support that you've given is just unbelievable. We're going to get through this. I had an appointment this morning, and it was good timing because they came in and talked to me and said, Tom, we've already seen this backing off. Now, it doesn't mean you've gotten rid of it yet, but it is backing off. So that's great news,
you
right?
can't get rid of Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
Or
I don't know.
can you?
I don't.
Or can you?
Mailman Mike says, so sorry about your friend Philly. I'm 62 next month, and I'm beginning to get to the age where I'm outliving people. The
Yeah,
story
nice.
it's true.
Betty Davis had an embroidered pillow next to her Oscars saying, old age is no place for sissies. Sounds like you're fighting a good fight. Keep it up, and God bless the family.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you. There are so many of you out there doing this, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Nothing but, like I said, I think there were 3 people that were assholes about it.
Yeah.
And the other,
There's always
3, 4, 500,000 people loved it. So
Yeah.
good. 500,000 against 3 people. I'll take the 500,000.
Yeah,
know about
those are actually
love.
good odds.
You know about what, Alex?
I don't know about loved it. They
Responded
loved your
positive-
Alzheimer's
Yeah.
announcement.
Well,
No. I love their support is what I meant. That's what I meant. I must have misspoken.
Yeah.
I must have misspoken. I meant I love their support. That's what I
Yes.
meant.
Someone texted in, we've known that he was in hospice, but apparently Dave Waggoner did die.
Dave Wagner did die.
Yes.
Dave.
We heard he was in hospice like a week ago. I think his daughter, was it, emailed us?
sakes.
Yeah, I know. It's been a week. That's
People
for sure.
die, man. It's just kind of how life is.
The Dell Counts, ladies and gentlemen. He's talking about the one of the founders and one of the stars of the Dell Counts, one of the greatest bands I've ever heard.
And
It
Crow.
inspired me. Crow, it became. Yeah, that's right. You're
Oh,
absolutely right. It went from the Dell Counts. They then became known as Crow. His son brought him into the show a couple of years ago because he was beginning to decline, and that brought tears to my eyes too because he was an inspiration to me across the board. The Dell Counts were just amazing people. The last time I saw him alive, He came over and gave me a big hug, and he was crying. It was very, very sweet. He was just a wonderfully sweet man. What a tremendous talent, too. Huge, just a great talent. So God bless you, pal. So now you and Philip can get together in heaven, and you can play music or you can play football.
Yep.
Whatever you want to
Or
do.
both at the same time.
Or both at the same time, exactly.
You're in heaven. It's a while.
Before we go any further, I want to say again the support that I have gotten from the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people out there. You guys are I think I could take when 500,000 people wish me well and 3 people don't like me.
Yep.
I'll get over that.
Yep, it's just how things are.
I can get
Especially
over that.
social media. I'm surprised it's, to tell you the truth, especially it seems like there was always a Facebook contingency that was anti-Tom.
Oh God, yes.
I'm surprised they didn't come out by the droves, but thank you for having some class and not
Well,
doing it.
you'd have to be pretty classless
Yeah.
to troll.
Well, I think you'd be
Yeah.
surprised how they,
Well,
they used to be. That's one of the reasons
well.
why I stopped being on Facebook. I was being attacked constantly. I'm like, okay, have a nice
There's plenty
day.
of people out there. Chuck Norris, when he died, they were like, "Oh, he was MAGA. I don't care that he's dead." It's like
Oh my God.
you can't keep it to yourself for one day.
No.
Why do they want to be like that? I just don't. I got to be honest with you. I've lived through many, many different presidents. I somehow got by. Everything we'll get through it all. You don't have to get so wound up and hate people over their politics, for Christ's sake.
Well, and it's not even necessarily politics. I don't know. It's just there's
Yeah.
something about. So the whole reason I was on Facebook this morning and saw that comment that guy did, I was like, I am still on a protein powder journey.
Yeah.
No.
Trying to find a protein powder that doesn't make me feel icky and doesn't
Doesn't have
have
lead?
lead ground up in it. And so I went on this group that I've been on for years of it's like health conscious, whatever. And so I was like, does anyone have any recommendations? Like, I used to use this protein powder, but there used to be lead in it, or there's now there's lead in it, and I have it almost every single day. And so I want specifically like vegan protein powder that doesn't have monk fruit in it, because I think that's what makes me feel icky.
Yeah.
And then I wrote on the bottom, I was like, I do not want recommendations like, don't have protein powder. You should be eating meat instead. And I was like, please do not comment this.
Well, you should.
And then
Your own
like,
brother.
"Vegan
Your
protein
own brother
powder."
turned.
Well, of course he does. But it's like, vegan protein powder is made out of beans, which are toxic
Oh, God.
foods, and you should be having this instead. And then there's another one that is like, I know you said that you're a vegetarian, but here's this beef tallow you should eat. And I'm just like, I specifically asked to not have people say that, and I was like, this is the only thing that I want. And 4 people commented about how the toxic it is and all this stuff, and I'm like, how? I just don't know. People on the internet just have to say their piece,
Yes, they do.
no matter
And
what. And if you're
somebody
like,
said-
don't say this, they're like, but I have to.
Andy, somebody sent you a message on here, but I think you scrolled past it already. About you can still see it all, can't you?
I can see everything. It's 2026, Andy. Having class is a pejorative rooted in racism and classism. That's true.
There
you
you
go.
go.
And
There you
colonialism
have it.
There you go.
and Islamophobia.
Oh, what's this about? We're talking about Crow because the leader of the band, they started out as the Del Counts, but then they went national and they turned into Crow, which is a great band, great name, all the rest of it. But he unfortunately, so he did pass away.
Yes.
Oh man, that makes me sad. I love that guy. He's just a
What?
sweetheart of a guy. Great guy.
The reason why that came up is there's a comment on the chat for those who are listening.
Right.
Don't know why. I
I
jumped
mean-
back to Crow.
I get what I'm learning from this is I can probably get through this. They're very at the hospital down here, excuse me. They're 100% sure that we can get through this eventually. It's going to take some time to get through it, but we'll get through it, and that'll be that situation. But the fact that hundreds of thousands of people that you actually give a rat's ass means the world to me. So thank you very much for that. It's very sweet that you actually care about this. So thanks very much. But again, losing him, I don't know. Dave he was such a great guy. And his son brought him in. Was that, Andy, about 2 years ago that he was on the show? Maybe even longer. I think it was about two. I don't know how long it was, but it was wonderful.
Let's see here.
Pretty great.
Oh, there was a protein powder recommendation. I missed it.
Oh, we got another protein powder
What was it?
recommendation.
There's
Arctic
Charlie.
something?
He said, what did he say? Polar Joe.
Have you looked at Polar Joe? Only 2 ingredients?
Oh, really?
Well, there is.
Protein and powder.
See, the thing, there are like pea isolate powders that it's like, it's just pea isolate and that's all there is in it. But I'm like, my protein powder, it's like, I want to scoop it in water, put some ice in it, drink it and be done.
Right. And you won't do collagen, right? Because that's from animals, I think.
Yeah, that's from
Yeah, because
cow
that's what Melissa uses. Because she doesn't
bone
she doesn't
marrow.
like all the flavorings. Yeah, she literally just wants to put it in whatever and have her
Yeah.
protein for the day.
Yeah.
That's an easy one, but yeah, it's not.
Have you looked at the Amazon brand?
Sure, Amazon brand is terrifying.
I don't know. I put it, through an AI search and it didn't come up with heavy lead or anything like that.
Like Amazon Basics or
I think it's called Sun Warrior or Warrior something.
Oh, Sun Warrior is not Amazon brand. It's like a brand that's sold on Amazon.
Oh, maybe. I think Amazon actually does put it out. Maybe
No, because
Anyway.
they have
All we could have a whole show on protein powder.
Yeah,
I think.
that's
You
true.
sure
They
could.
absolutely could. Sun Warrior is like, they have their own website and they sell it on like all sorts of different websites. It's not an Amazon specific protein
Well,
powder.
look into that one.
I have, but here's the thing. I wish that every brand of protein powder had those little packets that you can try it a couple
yeah,
times.
instead of buying 3 pounds of it.
Because
Right,
protein
right.
powder is expensive. It's like
Very
$50
expensive.
for a
Yep.
tub, and if
It's
I have
gotten
it
insane.
every day, which I do, that's $50 a month,
Yeah.
pretty much, which is fine. Like, it's fine because I have it every day, and so I want it to be good quality, and like that's fine. I'm fine with spending a lot of money on vitamins and protein powder because I think protein powder is pretty much like a supplement,
Yeah.
And so it's fine, but I have bought so many of these protein powders and I'm like, well, I have to try it because I need to see if I'm going to like it. And then I eat it for a week or drink it for a week. And then I end up feeling icky.
Mm-hmm.
So for the first week, it's fine. And then all of a sudden I feel icky. And I'm like, how is it that I drank Orgain protein powder for like 10 years and never felt icky? And now every single brand that I try after a week, I'm like, literally the smell of it makes me feel icky.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like, Sun Warrior, I think is going to be my like last ditch effort. And then if that doesn't work, I might just quit and be frail.
Did you see what Jaden said, Alex?
No.
Explain feeling icky, Alex.
You know what I mean?
Like the thought of drinking it again makes you physically ill.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
I know exactly what you mean.
To
what
tell
you
you the truth, now that I know what I know about like inflammation and food things and all that kind of stuff, a lot of times if you eat the same thing every single day, you do develop allergies to it.
You
So it's a
can.
good idea to just not do it like 2 days a week.
Yeah.
I haven't had it. I didn't have it for 2 weeks. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
but-
maybe I'll go back to I drank Orgain protein powder almost every single day for 10 years.
Yeah, that's
Never
what
had
I'm
a
saying.
problem.
Yeah.
But no, now I have I'm trying completely different protein powders, and those are making me feel gross.
I know pea protein makes me feel sick. Specifically pee protein.
But
I don't know why.
Well,
Like
you're
Orgain
on. The
protein.
doctor gave Dad a brand to do for 2 weeks. He was supposed to like detox, and it's called Core. And it's I looked it up to see. Oh well, if we just wanted to buy this was part of the protocol, so it was part of the fee that we paid for him to go to this clinic, and it is pretty expensive, but I don't know. It's a pea protein, I believe.
Yeah,
And I think it is helping me.
Yeah, vegan protein powders usually are mostly pea
Yeah.
protein. That's like peas are pretty high in protein, so it's easy to get, and that's always I've never had a problem with it.
Someone in the chat said they have been eating cottage cheese for protein, and Melissa does that too. She puts cottage cheese on everything.
Yeah,
Really?
I like cottage cheese. I've always liked cottage cheese, but I get a little sick of cottage cheese.
Yeah.
And it's just like the thing that I like about the protein powder is like I get up at 6:15 every single morning. Not every single morning, but 7 days a week. 6 days a week. My goodness.
Andy?
7 days is every morning.
Yes.
6 days a week, I get up, I lift weights, I either run or bike or hike.
Someone's
And then-
backing up.
They're backing up the truck, apparently.
yeah.
Jesus.
Watch out, you guys. And then I like have to deal with like the kids and breakfast and school and And it's really nice to be able to just like dump
Chug.
2 scoops of something in water and be on my merry way. Like
Yep.
it's just, I don't know. I don't know why it's so difficult to find something that doesn't make me feel like I'm gonna
Right.
barf.
Now, here we go. How do you get sick of cottage cheese? Now, a few people asked me the question, Andy, will you look up and see the song Cottage Cheese? It was a big hit nationally.
There's a song, Cottage
It's called
Cheese?
Cottage Cheese. Yeah, it's a great song, actually. It's dun 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 dun.
Do you want to know what I do with pasta sauce?
Apparently, we're changing the subject here.
It's
That's
about
all right.
cottage cheese. He's finding
Okay.
the song.
All right.
What?
I mean, there's a bunch of them, actually. There's one called Lime Jello Marshmallow Cottage Cheese Surprise.
No, I'm talking about a song named Cottage Cheese. The song's called Cottage Cheese. It's from probably the late 60s, early 70s. It was a great song.
There's a lot of songs called Cottage Cheese, so I would need more.
Really?
Yes.
Does it say anything about the Del Counts or Crow? Because I think Crow put it out. And
Oh,
we
yeah,
already
you're
talked-
right. Crow, Cottage
Oh,
Cheese
look at
original.
Could you play a little of that just to salute
I
my
don't know.
dear
I'm-
friend?
I mean,
We
You don't have to
wanna
play
get
it all.
flagged
You could play 10 seconds of it.
if you can find the words cottage cheese. So
I can try playing the first 10 seconds. I don't know if it's going to be any good because I might have an intro, but I don't want to play more than that. So,
Well, why can't we just salute him by playing his song? Because he's the one who sang it.
because YouTube is like that. I'm just going to go right to the center
Very
and
picky.
hit it.
Okay.
Is this the song?
Yep, that's it.
Cottage Cheese. All right. This
Would you
is,
play a little bit of the singing?
I can't find it without,
Take
Pen and
some
paper.
of this candy sweet from my little bag of tricks. That was a great song.
Well, if anyone out there wants to find it, just search YouTube for Crow Cottage Cheese. You'll
Yeah, it's a
find it.
great song. Great song.
Jeez.
Tasty.
Indeed. All right, we
And-
better take.
Oh, can I say my pasta sauce thing first?
Yes.
Because it might be something people will like because people seem to really love cottage cheese.
Do you put cottage cheese in your pasta sauce?
I sure do. So I take just jarred pasta sauce, whatever you like, and I put in a cup to half a cup, depending on how much I make, of cottage cheese, low fat or no fat cottage cheese, because low fat to no fat cottage cheese is disgusting
Yeah.
in any
Chunky
other way.
water.
Gross. But it adds protein to pasta sauce, and I cook some zucchini, and then I put it in there too, and I blend it up, and then you pour it on like protein pasta or high fiber pasta or whatever, and it's like the best. And children, little kids,
no.
have no idea. My kids don't care; they'll like eat whatever. But if you have picky kids and you want them to have like more protein and like a little bit of fiber, like it's really great. And it's actually I like it better than just regular jarred pasta sauce because it's kind of like what's that pasta sauce like Rosa? That's like pink.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's something
not
like
like
that.
Rosa sauce, whatever. But it tastes like that, and it's really good, and I would recommend.
Mom tip of the day.
There you go. All right, now we do have to take that break. Come back and wrap things up right after this. It's Tom for Welshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Welshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities are a place where your loved one will live with pride and dignity. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Welshire is the place I highly recommend. Welshire is a memory care focused facility that has a full nursing team always staffed within the building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Welshire Medina is now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. I know them personally, have for 2 generations now, as a matter of fact. They are family-owned, local company. conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. They are the best staff memory care facility in the state. Wellshire has a robust community with activities 7 days a week. If your loved one is in need of a memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. Set up a tour or learn more at wellshiremn.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com. There's a cruise that I have been hearing about. My friends at Heart of the North Tours. Sounds amazing to me. It's the Alaska Cruise Tour. What is a cruise tour? It's a tour that features a cruise that includes a 7-day Princess Cruise tour of the glaciers, combined with glass-top railway experience, multiple nights at the Denali Wilderness Lodge, including the land meal package. You'll visit Denali National Park, Whittier, Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay National Park, and stop at Anchorage, Juneau, Skagway, and Ketchikan. For more information, go to heartofthenorthtours.com or call 1-833-424-2700 to speak to Mike, who is a pro at arranging these amazing tours. It all happens August 8th through the 19th, and there are limited spots available, so book now. It's a trip of a lifetime that you won't want to miss. Yeah, so basically, as I said when I was talking to Joe Souchere yesterday, and Joe, love you dearly, man. You've always been just such a great guy to me. But he is insisting that we just stay after it. I mean, obviously, those shows do very well over there. And, he said, well, you'll be the third one. That's a good thing. We'll just get this all teed up, which is very, very nice that he even gives her. I got so many calls from people I didn't think would care that actually do care. It was very nice. It felt really good to get all that. So thank all of you. You know,
you do like attention.
Oh, you had to piss all over it. You make a nice comment, you got to piss all over it. Unbelievable.
I just was being that troll guy.
I ran into Tony Lee on Saturday.
Oh, I got a message from him today.
At the Hilltop in Edina.
Oh, yeah.
I was going out to brunch with a friend, which ended up being a very traumatic experience. But I ran into Tony Lee we were like waiting to be seated, and he walked up to me, and it was his birthday.
Oh,
yeah, birthday Tony.
Out to brunch with his son for his birthday, and so we chatted a little bit and caught up. And
how old is he?
I have no idea.
How old is Tony?
Yeah, I have no clue. He's not that much younger than I am. I know that.
His son is 13.
Son's 13.
Wow. Yeah,
I think he's his youngest. He has 3, I think.
I used to run into him and his whole family at Costco.
Yeah, that's right. Go to Costco.
In St. Louis Park. I was always running into Tony there.
We got to wrap it up, but I'll close with this. I will never forget when Tony Lee came on the show many, many, many years ago. He was on the show with me. It was wonderful. And I'm out at some appearance. I won't say where it was because it wasn't the appearance's fault. This guy walks up and he goes, "Hey, Tommy, let me ask you a question." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Somebody told me that Tony Lee is Jewish." I said, "Yeah, he is Jewish." I said, "Why are you asking?" He goes, "Who the hell ever heard of a Jew named Tony?" Which I think
is true.
Apparently, I think it's a lot more funny than you guys do.
I don't think I know any. I'm just, now that you said that.
Anthony, it's usually Anthony.
Yeah.
Tony Lee.
What does Anthony come from? It is from Latin, Antonius. That makes sense.
Yep, there you go.
I suppose it's not a terribly Jewish name, is it?
No.
But Tony, thank you so much, and all of you people across the 5-state area that reached out and sent me messages about, offering me support and all the rest of it. You guys are unbelievable.
Yes, it's very nice.
Now I'll probably never leave podcasting or radio because of you. It's all your fault, right? All right, that is going to do it. But we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Got a picture in my pocket, reminds me of this was before.